Hello fellow people, and today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Laser Optimus. But before we get into this figure, let's talk about his packaging. So you can see the character art, you can see his truck mode, he's a leader class, you can see the character art up close, and you have an oversized version of the side art. And yes, this packaging is ridiculously massive. So you can see the product shots and this QR code, which I'm gonna scan right now. So taking a look at we have Optimus, and it seems like the missiles are actually useless. You can see some weird lighting that they always do. His old mode is a semi truck. He's a leader. He's from the G2 universe, and his signature weapon is the Energon sword. He is 9 in strength, 9.8 in intelligence, 8 in speed, and 7.5 in firepower. Interesting. So I won't really talk about the tanker because this will probably extend the video to over 16 minutes. But I'm just gonna talk about this figure instead. So taking a look at the painting and sculpting, it's actually pretty good. The truck mode actually has a lot of pretty good sculpted and painted in detailing that I took for granted. And yeah, you can see that they gave him the flame decals, but this is actually just red plastic, and this is painted. You can see that they painted in the grill, and they actually painted in taillights, the headlights. It's actually pretty cool. They didn't paint the back though, and his legs kind of seem long. And yeah, his arms just poke out at the back. Kind of wish that they did something more to hide those. And taking a look at the underside, it's not really the cleanest cable management, but I guess it's effort. So he has a few accessories, and around 60% of them are from the tank, or for the tanker. So yeah. So the accessories are his sword and his axe. The axe is shaped like a manhole. So they can store in the vehicle mode, but the sword is actually the one that does better at it. So you can see two ports, and you can see two tabs on the axe. And hold on. There you go. Then you have two ports, and you can see that there are also two tabs on the sword. Yeah, I think the sword does the weapon storage more justice, but at the same time, I think the Reveal the Shields one did better than both of these. That one is actually genius. So yeah, he rolls. Does he roll? I'm not really sure. These are the only things that aren't entirely flat. I guess it's the sword. So he doesn't really roll well with the sword. Oh, he still doesn't roll well. Anyways, so there's not really much to talk about the truck mode. Let's get into some size comparisons. Here we have him compared next to the Piggy Duo. Here we have him compared next to Legacy Core Class Iguanus. Here we have him compared next to Legacy Skids. Here we have him compared next to Kingdom Huffer. This will be important for the tanker. Here we have him compared next to Legacy Bulkhead. This guy's pretty short in vehicle mode. And here we have him compared next to Battle Class Shockwave. This officially fan-made mode. It's a mix of fan-made and official. So, now that I've finished talking about the robot mode, let's get into his vehicle mode. Let's get into his robot mode. So, going up. So, first off, you're going to have to take out the heels and toes. There you go. And you're supposed to close these canisters in, and they're actually kind of easy to do. since they're pretty loose. Untab the panels, though it's kind of disappointing that he doesn't have a G2 logo. And rotate the legs, untab them, and then rotate the arms out. Take out the arms because they're gonna get in the way of rotating the waist. Okay, now you can rotate them. Now you can take out these pauldrons and take out this entire torso section. Now then, bring out the arms and bring these panels inside of the torso. Oh, frick. Anyways, rotate the arms, open up the wrists, and take out the hand, and then you rotate it. Close that up, and you do the same steps on the other side. Now then, and then you can begin to close up the entire torso region. There you go. Also, I should be aware. I should have told you this, but this ab section has a tendency to pop off. Rotate the pauldrons however you wish. I usually just like to do this. Take out the head and tab it in. Now for the backpack. Take out this panel, and then you can close that up. It does not really want to close up. And here we have him in his robot mode. So, yeah. When I first saw him, I thought this figure was gonna be small and be weightless. This figure is pretty hefty, and he's pretty massive. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, the painting and sculpting isn't actually bad. Like the vehicle mode, I took it for granted. This figure has a lot of nice painted in and sculpted in detailing. So, though it's kind of a shame that they didn't paint in the grill section. They should have done that. Now then, he comes with a bunch of gimmicks. Not only for the trailer, but it's also on robot mode. He has the Matrix, but from what I've seen, it's actually a different Matrix, and it's not the easiest thing to get out. I usually just like to transform his chest, and that makes it easier. So, taking a look at the Matrix, it is ridiculously small. It's clear plastic, and it's painted. It has the outside section painted silver and the inner section painted orange. Now then, you can see that, and you can actually store this on the weapon. And which weapon can you store this in? Well, his axe. So you can see that there's a tab, and seeing as how it's hollow in the back, you can just abuse it. That or it was intentional. And there you have it. So I'm going to put this back inside his chest. Gosh dang it. So he has missiles. They're Energon infused missiles. So they're actually a separate piece from what I've seen, as you can see there. Or this entire section is actually just clear plastic. If so, gosh dang it, Hasbro. Still though, this is actually a pretty cool gimmick, but I'm not sure if this should have been added. Oh yeah, I forgot. Do that as well. Anyways, so yeah, this figure has a lot of gimmicks, and none of them are kind of useful. They're pretty cool, but when you take them out, it still doesn't actually change my opinion on the figure. This is still pretty cool. As for the weapons, I mentioned before, he comes with the sword and the axe. You could place them on his hands, and he doesn't have any weapon storage. Sorry about that. So yeah, you have two swords. No wait, two weapons. Or you could actually combine the sword on top of the axe. For a weapon, I'm not sure what this is supposed to do. And I'm not sure if this was from Perspective End, but he said this is a weapon with more range. And I can confirm, this is indeed a weapon with more range. Like seriously. This thing is almost the size of him. So, visibility now, shall we? He has a ball joint on the head, in theory. Because I think they painted in the ball joint socket. Why would they do that? I don't know. The pauldrons can move out anywhere. You can extend them to make them look taller, or you could just do that. This panel can move up, but it risks paint chipping. He has a ratchet joint on his arm, and he can do a T-pose even with the pauldrons. Epic. Probably because of this opening. Still though, that's pretty cool. So, forearm swivel, 90-degree elbow bend. Also, I noticed that this part has an opening. Why would they do that? He has a wrist swivel, and I forgot to mention that all of the blue parts are painted. Yes, including the feet. He can do this type of pivot, ankle pivot, and he has an over 90-degree knee bend, and I question why they added these pins in. They have no use. He has a unrestricted thigh swivel, and can he do a split? Yeah. Yes, he can. He has a waist swivel, and yeah, that's basically all of the posability. He's not an entirely posable figure. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that because of these being 5mm ports, they're actually Bluetooth compatible. So I'll be right back. So here you have two Bluetooths, and yeah, not really great. It's also compatible with the missile pods. It's only in the middle though. So yeah, there you have that. Now then, size comparison time, shall we? Here we have him compared next to the Biggie Duo. Come on. There you have that. Here we am compared next to Legacy. No wait, Kingdom Puffer. I forgot Kingdom was actually a toy line because I was kind of more interested in Legacy. I still like Kingdom though. Iguanus. Here we am compared next to Legacy Dragstrip and Dang It Wreck Garfell. Anyways, so there you have that. And here we have him compared next to Legacy Bulkhead. And here we have him compared next to Cyberverse Battleclass Shockwave. Anyways, so the fact that he's almost the same size as Wreck-Gar implies that G-Axis is the size of a small leader class. Ah, that's interesting. So I'll be right back. I really dig this figure. I give his robot mode an 8 out of 10, and his vehicle mode an 8 out of 10 as well. As for his thinker, well, I'll talk about that sooner or later. So, yeah, this is it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.